Morency Unfiltered on the Fantasy Sports Network continues. As promised, we had some AFL picks for you, and I'm not talking about the Arena Football League. The Australian Football League has started their season. Last week was round one. Our boy Myk Aussie has just returned from the homeland, Australia, and is fired up for another season, as are we. I see a couple of spots that I'm going to be pulling the trigger on. I got a money line parlay for you guys that I'll give you in a couple of minutes here, but let's bring in our AFL tipster, Myk Aussie. What's up, Myk?
Yeah, Gabe had a great trip back home for 3 weeks. Even ate some kangaroo at a restaurant, so that might shock some of you. But yeah, ate some kangaroo, avoided some sharks, had a great time, mate.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about you eating kangaroos, Myk. So you guys have like kangaroo jerky. Yeah? It's like beef jerky, but it's kangaroo jerky.
Yeah, mate, I got some right here. Bought a packet back with me. I'll save you some. And a few people tried it. It tastes alright, but leaves a bit of a bad taste in the mouth afterwards. But yeah, they actually breed kangaroos down home now for eating. It's something new in the last 10 years, but it tasted quite good, mate. Just, yeah. Kangaroos are big and whatever. There's lots of them around, mate.
Way to live up to the Australian stereotype of kangaroos, and yeah, I ate some kangaroos when I was down there. What are you, Donald Trump's kids? Like, you shoot any kangaroos too? But anyways, Myk, let's jump in here. Great Western Sydney, because I don't want to hear what else you ate. Well, what do you mean you avoided sharks? Well, you saw some sharks down there too?
Well, I was out swimming, and my girlfriend was up to about waist deep. She reckons she was a shark spotter. Well, I'm proud of her for going in the water, but yeah, there's sharks down where I'm from, and actually some got on shore in the least recent cyclone there up in Brisbane and Sydney, up north of Sydney there.
Yeah, I heard that. It's like a real Sharknado. It's like that movie. Huh? There was a dead shark, a killer shark on the road.
True story, mate. True story.
All right, so Great Western Sydney. They're laying 39.5 points against Gold Coast. Suns lost a close one to the Lions last week against Brisbane. Giants got killed by your Adelaide Crows, so we expect Great Western Sydney's going to be in a pretty bad mood, Myk. Expecting them to bounce back. They're minus 770 on the money line. They're going to win, but they're going to win by 40 points. They're 39.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, they'll win. Put them as one of your trifecta parlays. I'm not sure they'll cover, mate. But yes, they'll be angry. They're one of the top picks of the year. They had a great year last year. Very young team. They'll win, yeah. Put them down for a win.
All right, we've got, we just mentioned Brisbane. So Brisbane versus the Essendon Bombers. And, you know, the Bombers look good last week. You know, they beat the Hawks rather easily. They beat Hawthorn. We mentioned the Lions won 98-96 against Gold Coast. I'm not sure if the Bombers should be 15.5 point favorites here, Myk. I know there's a big turnaround with Essendon this year, but minus 15.5, I'm not ready to lay that on the road.
I agree, mate. Be very careful there. The Bombers had a great win last week. They got their players back. They beat the Mighty Hawks. And a Canadian kid, he spent the first few years in Canada. He's in Australia now. He got drafted number 1 by the Bombers, called McGrath. He had a good first-up game. Yes, I like the Bombers to win, but be a bit careful on this one because it could be a letdown from last week.
My West Coast Eagles, minus 38.5 point favorites against the Saints, against St. Kilda. Total's 194.5. Eagles got off to a great start last week. They smashed North Melbourne by 43. What's the deal with North Melbourne? They don't have a name? Like, there's no nickname for North Melbourne?
Yeah, the Kangaroos, mate. That's why I
they're the Roos. Oh, they're the Roos. All right. I was wondering, the Roos. I was wondering about that because they're not listed. When I was looking, I gotta get back on track here. That's right, the Roos. All right. So yeah, as I mentioned, West Coast smashed them by 43 last week, and the Saints lost by 30. Here's another one we're going to put in a money line parlay. West Coast with Great Western Sydney.
Yeah, absolutely. Eagles to win. It's over in Perth. Be a bit careful on the spread. I think the Saints are on the improve this year, so I think the Saints might cover that, but Eagles to win over there. They're a good team, even though without their big ruckman, Nat Nui, they should win that one, mate.
Yeah, they're minus 700 on the money line, so we've got to play like 4 of them. to make money here, but we'll get there. Leads us into the Cats, Geelong Cats. 27.5-point favorites against North Melbourne. 27.5-point favorites making this game. The total's 189.5. Last week, Cats smashed the Dockers, Fremantle, and of course North Melbourne. I just talked about. I can't believe I forgot the Roos. They lost by 43. Kind of sucks for North Melbourne, man. They open up with West Coast and Geelong. Not easy.
Yeah, mate, they're in rebuilding mode. They got rid of a few of the old kangaroos, so a few of them been sent to slaughter, and they're on the rebuild. Cats are looking real good. This is one of the few games that I like on the minus. I do like the Cats to cover, but yeah, put them as your third team so far to win. They should win that one. And
my fourth team, I can't forget the Demons, Melbourne Demons against the Carlton Blues. Melbourne's minus 28.5, Mick. They're the fourth team that I have in the money line parlay, and it pays. It's not bad actually. What is it? Minus 112. Four-team parlay. So basically, we need West Coast to win, Great Western Sydney to win, the Geelong Cats to win, and the Melbourne Demons to win at minus 112. They're 28.5-point favorites against Carlton.
Yeah, and I like them to cover that as well. I was back in Australia last Thursday night. I watched the Blues get beaten by the Tigers. Blues are terrible. They're in rebuilding mode as well. Demons are on the up, so I do like the Demons to win and probably cover. So yes, I like your four teams there, and I've got another one to put as the fifth if you game.
Which is what? Port Adelaide and Fremantle, right? So Port Adelaide are minus 25.5. Are they going to win for sure against the Dockers?
I like them. Take a bit of a gamble. That's five. And I think you should get the five, and it's there in Adelaide where I actually saw your girlfriend, the English lady, Adele, mate. She played there in Adelaide over a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, they play the Dockers. Dockers, they've had a bad year. Powers, the Pap Smears had a big first up win against the Swans. So yeah, I like the Power to win. Probably cover.
Yeah, and the Dockers got smashed in week one. They're 25.5-point underdogs. I tell you, if you throw Port Adelaide into the parlay, suddenly it's plus 143. So West Coast, Great Western Sydney, Geelong, Melbourne, minus 112. And if you want to throw Port Adelaide in there, it's plus 143. Just for the record, and it's weird if you guys aren't used to this because it looks crazy. You're like, man, they're 25.5-point favorites, but it's only minus 350. There are upsets in the AFL. So, there's nothing automatic, but, the first four seem like more certain locks here. And especially the first three. West Coast aren't losing. Great Western Sydney aren't losing. Geelong aren't losing. And Melbourne aren't losing, Mick. I think that's a pretty safe four.
I think when you talk gambling, you're as safe as you can be. But as we saw in week one, there was some big upsets. Week two should settle down a little bit, but you can't get too sucked into some of those week one upsets.
It's
so
true.
I do like those five teams to win, yes.
It's true. All right, Mick. We'll catch up with you next week. We'll find out one of these weeks whether your boy Tony Romo is going to end up in Denver or not, or the Houston Texans, because he's running out of teams to play for. So it's Denver or Houston, Mick. We'll find out whether your donkeys get a quarterback or not.
Well, I hope so, mate. And just on that, you be very careful this weekend on the basketball. Just be careful of those Carolina teams, mate, because they've let you down in the past. So you be careful, mate. And that Gonzaga name, I love that name. That's a bit of a gong show on some zigzags. Gonzaga.
I figured you're pulling for the South Carolina Gamecocks, Mick.
You be careful, mate. I like Oregon and Gonzaga, so there you go. Not that I follow it that much, but I love those two names,
Gonzaga. All right. So, always a pleasure, Mick.
All right, and everyone's having orgasms out here, mate. Not me, but the Oilers, everyone's having orgasms. See you later, mate.
Oilgasms, says Myk Aussie. That's a Friday Night Freak Show. Mick mix a little bit, mix a little bit different. I like how Mick, we're talking AFL. He opens up by talking about, I ate some kangaroos down there. This is great stuff.